Weigl looking towards Odegaard. Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! And they are back on terms!
Oh, good evening. Welcome to the Rotherham United podcast. We will be looking back at a very, very hard-fought victory in Preston and ahead to a tough game on Tuesday night against the resurgent, is maybe not too strong of a word, but Cardiff, who are picking up more points than they were before last 3 or 4 games. Myself, Matt, Mick's here as well.
Hello.
Ben has not arrived yet, but I'm sure we will see him any minute now. So, Michael.
Yes.
2-1 away at Preston North End. 1 minute, 17 seconds, I think it was timed out eventually. The goal. It was a solid performance without being spectacular.
Solid is one way of putting it, innit? Not brilliant, not a great performance, but it's all that matters ultimately is the result, innit? That's it. So,
I agree. Ben?
Yeah. I agree as well.
Are we interrupting you to something here, mate?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did he add? I don't know what he said to me. I just said I don't know.
Fantastic. This is a really professional start, guys. Well done.
Yes.
So it's a big win in terms of we didn't play particularly well for the 90 minutes, but we still managed to pick up a win. We'll go through the game sort of bit by bit and pick it apart and see what we thought. So first off, Ben, we go 1-0 up, like I say, inside 17 seconds. The goal itself, the finish by Rafferty was very lucky from our point of view. But the build-up was quite good. It was a decent build-up to the goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, until Freddie got it. I don't want to be I don't want to be this critical guy because I've played with people like that, and it makes you not want to play football. It genuinely does, because when you're with someone who constantly just wants to score, it doesn't show that he wants to perform for his teammates. He probably does, but it don't come across that way. You don't want to play football, you want to get subbed off, you just want to watch and you don't really care what happens. It's that demoralising. It really is. And then when he shot that, it's like, you got something lucky out of it, so then I'll do it again next time. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even celebrate that goal. I genuinely wouldn't, because I've seen goals like that happen and I didn't celebrate. I'm being dead serious. And I don't want to be Mr. Negative, or you said it's negative and that. It's just, I wouldn't have celebrated it because it's annoying. He shouldn't have got it scored.
Ultimately, though, the whole point of this is obviously to win the games. To win the game, you've got to score more goals than everybody else. To score more goals, you've got to get that ball into dangerous positions. And whilst I accept that perhaps the decision to shoot at that point may have been the wrong one, it worked out for the best.
It depends what the culture is. Because if the culture is just to win games, it's not going to last very long. It's not going to last very long.
Ultimately, that's the ultimate aim, though, isn't it? Just to win games, to win football games. I do get what you're saying, Ben, up to a point, because we've talked before many times about Freddie's decision making, whether that was the right decision or the wrong decision. Well, it was clearly the right decision because ball ended up in back at net. Ultimately, I know you do. I know.
But if he connected with it properly, the only reason he didn't score is because he didn't connect with it. If he connects with it, it's 1-0 because Freddie scored. It was in an okay position. The decision to shoot was not the wrong decision.
He hadn't connected to it well since the start of the season, so what's his excuse this time?
I mean, other than the 5 goals that he's scored, I think you're probably right.
Half of them are headers.
That doesn't matter, does it?
It does.
Could come off his backside, it's still a goal. Freddie should have shot when the position he was, but he should have done. He himself should have done better because he should have scored the goal. That's the only criticism.
I see football very different to you.
Right. It's all about the goals.
It's not, is it?
Yeah,
but it is.
Goals win games,
don't they?
Goals is short term. Success isn't short term. Unless he wants short-term success and we'll end up back in League Two in 10 years.
I can see where you're coming from. I genuinely can see where you're coming from. However, ultimately, the only thing that matters is the ball in the back of the net. That is the only thing that matters. And as a result of that move, we scored. And to be fair, as a result of another move that Freddie was involved with, we scored the second goal as well, which we'll come on to. Whilst my views on Freddie, we've talked about them many times. They're very similar to what Ben's are, but on this occasion, I'm not buying it. Ultimately, 15 seconds in, we're 1-0 up away from home against the top side. What more do you want?
We'll start with Freddie, I suppose. I thought overall he had an okay game. I don't think he was too selfish. The work rate was, if not there completely, was there quite a lot of the time. Him and Hurst ran about a lot, not to much effect, to be fair, particularly Hurst. He ran around and worked very, very hard, but it never really came through for Hurst. Whereas Freddie, as I said, Freddie effectively, you might say this way, it's effectively an assist for the first goal. It may well have been an accidental assist, but it's still an assist. And like I said, like Mick said, he was heavily involved in the second goal as well. I see what you're saying, Ben, but you can't criticise Freddie anything for yesterday's game. I thought he had a decent.
No, yeah, we had a good game for Freddie. It was a good game for Freddie.
It was, yeah.
Freddie, yeah.
Which, getting involved in 2 goals, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, good game for Freddie.
Well, that's all we need. That's all we need at the moment, isn't it? You know,
it depends, isn't it? I think that's for one to decide, but yeah.
But whenever you look at any sort of player, whoever that might be, if they can consistently have a good game for them, that means that they're going to continue to improve. And Freddie's job now, the next time he gets a start, is to improve on that performance. And if he can, happy days. We'll all be happy, even Ben.
Yeah, what I will say is, we'll move on for Freddie in a minute, but from the last few games he's played, he has looked below himself. He's not worked hard enough, this, that, and other. Saturday was a much more improved performance, much more where it needs to be. If he played like that every week, he'd play much more than he has. Yeah. So it's down to him to make sure that work rate's where it needs to be. And for the most part, I think he had a good game. Philip Flop, let it go, Ben. It's a team game. Freddie plays part. Ben, I'm afraid you are in a minority. Apologies. But yeah, it was a decent enough goal. The only downside of the goal for me was that the defender got there first in front of Hurst. Because if the defender didn't do it, it would have been on a plate for Hurst, which he couldn't have missed, and he would have got his first goal. But that's been a bit greedy in terms of wanting, the world.
I suppose.
A goal's a goal, and we will take it however it comes. First half, still going to stick with the first half before we move on to the second goal. We did a post-match yesterday. For anyone who wasn't involved, we talked a lot about the referee. I can't remember his name now, Mick. What was his name, ref?
Gavin Ward.
Gavin Ward. I think that sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, Gavin Ward.
He had a poor game. Nothing game-changing, as it turns out. But in the first half, Viktor Johansson, who, again, we'll come on to Johansson in a minute, I thought he had a good game, made a very, very good save from, I think it was Whiteman?
I think it was, yeah.
A really, really good save, parried it down and got back on it very, very quickly. One of the Preston striker slides in, misses the ball, goes into the back of the net. Ched Evans waits what feels like 5 minutes, and slides in and literally kicks Viktor Johansson in the face. And I'm sure many of you have seen the picture of Viktor Johansson going around on social media where he's got a big, massive cut, basically on his eyelid. Yeah. Before we talk about the decision, Mick, Ched Evans sliding in like that is an incredibly dangerous and reckless challenge.
Yeah, well, the first thing to say is that Viktor Johansson's absolutely no right to claim that, to make that save. It is a phenomenal save. The run from Evans and is it Whiteman, whoever it was, the run from both of them, particularly the lad who ended up in back at net, which I think was Whiteman, was a fantastic run. It was a fantastic ball over the top of the defence. And like I said, Viktor Johansson has absolutely no right to make that save. It is a wonderful save. So yeah, I mean, that part of it is fine. Ched Evans coming in like he did is outrageous, absolutely outrageous. So dangerous, particularly in those conditions when the goalkeeper has control of the ball. It's in his arms. The first player coming in, there was a bobble. He didn't grab it first time. First player coming in, I accept, not a problem. But he also pulled out of it when he realised that the goalkeeper had got the ball. You know what I mean? No problem with that first player coming in. Evans, I'm just... The more I think about it, 24 hours plus later, the more I think there should be some retrospective punishment. There can't be now because the referee bottled it at the time.
Yeah.
But that was so dangerous, so dangerous. And it's not as though he's even just caught him with his knee or his arm or his body or whatever. He studded him in the face, not only in the face, in the eye. From the referee's point of view, the referee has seen something because he's booked Ched Evans. So how is that a booking to kick somebody in the face, to stud somebody in the face, in the eye, is only a booking? Just beggars belief. It utterly beggars belief. And we come on every week, don't we, and say, oh, referees this week has made, it's one of the worst decisions of the season, blah, 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 blah. That's right up there with the handball against Swansea, with that horror tackle on Ben Wiles from Ayew. They're just a disgrace, utter disgrace from the referee, from the official. Just I'm gobsmacked. I am, honestly. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I genuinely don't. You can get annoyed. You can shout and bawl and everything else. It's pointless. I get annoyed about it. It's pointless. Why can't they do the job that they're paid to do?
I don't think the referee saw it. I think he saw something happened, right, and then he's thought, right, well, and if clearly Johansson's down injured, so I think he's thought he needs to make a decision, but he can't send him off because he didn't see it.
We can't book him then.
Yeah, but a booking's a cop out, isn't it? A booking is, I know something's happened, but I'm not sure, so I'll just play it safe.
So on that basis, then Preston have every right to appeal that yellow card.
We can't appeal yellow cards.
Right, fair enough. Now that'll be why then.
Yeah. Well, this is the issue. It'd be better off not giving anything, because then the FA can take retrospective action. Now he's booked him, there can be no retrospective action. Ben, sum it up for us.
I don't know. The thing is, it was bad. Obviously, it should have gone. But I think I don't really care that much, because I think it's one of them things where I've let go of it because we can't control it. I think that's probably the reason why I'm so hard on Freddie, because the one thing that you can't control is the way you perform and the way you handle yourself on and off the field, and whether you're working hard or you're not. And you can't control referees because they're always going to be awful, because the referees, they're not footballers, they're referees. So they're not good at the job. They're just referees. It's not, do you know what I mean? No kid probably grows up and thinks, yeah, I want to be a referee when I'm older. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
that's very true.
I think that's probably why. But it should have gone. It's inexcusable as per, I think, the useless. They need to undergo some sort of good training. The training these people go through must be the most incompetent thing I've ever seen since school. Honestly, it must be ridiculous. It must be like, here's the ball, and telling the rules like, oh, if he kicks the ball in the net, it's a goal. If he thinks it's a goal, you know what I mean? Something stupid like that. Ridiculous.
I think a lot of it is just down to attitude, isn't it? It certainly comes across that way. They appear, and this might not be the case, but it's certainly, and it would be lovely to hear from a professional referee. A lot of referees appear to referee the game based on the teams that are playing, the reputation of the teams that are playing, the officials of the teams that are playing, so the managers and so on and so forth, and the players of the teams that are playing. They don't seem to have those four things seem to have as much impact on a referee's performance as do the events of the game. Yeah. So it appears to me that an incident happens within a game, and that actual incident is only one of four considerations. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's how it feels from our point of view. And you know, if we were talking about one occasion, 2 occasions, 3 occasions a season, then all right, I accept that people make mistakes. But this is game in, game out. In fact, it's more than once for game in, game out. It's 3 and 4 times a game. You know what I mean? And it's consistent. I mean, if there's one thing that consistent at, it's being bad. The referees. It's just a disgrace. Honestly, I'm still, like Ben said, you shouldn't. We need to let it go. I need to let it go. Like he needs to let Freddie go, but I can't.
No, because
just
you can't.
Infuriates me.
I know what you're saying. We know what you're saying, Ben. I get you.
Yeah,
100%. I understand.
100%.
So Ben Wiles got his 5th goal, fifth goal for the club in 2 and a bit seasons. But the story of the second goal is not really about Ben Wiles, is it? It's about the build-up.
Yeah, I think it was. The second goal, the one where Crooks dribbled and 1-2 with Giles, well, sort of 1-2.
Wing put the ball into Wiles.
I'm thinking of another game. I can remember Wing getting it. I can't remember the build. Oh, the one where he plays Freddie. Freddie knocks it like a tiki-taka type thing. Yeah, that was a good goal. It was good from Freddie. It was good from everyone. That Wing especially. That patience and that that plays to pick a pass out. Same with Wiles. You know what I mean? I think a year ago, 2 years ago, he blast that or whatever. I think the class is showing through. I think his potential is coming through. I think at the start of the season, there's no way we'd have been in that chance. I think wings are going to be a big part of our team now. I think we'll come on to this later, but I think he has to start. But he was so good for me. To have that patience, I thought, oh God, he's lost it. And then he picked that pass out. And Harding was free as well, behind him. He could have dummied it or whatever. So, yeah, it weren't really a Rotherham goal, but maybe that's the new way of playing. I don't know,
Yeah. Well, the thing is with football is, as we mentioned, the most important thing is to get the ball back in the net. But there are 100 different type of goals you can score, hundreds of different types of goals you can score. And we're very good at set pieces. We're all aware of that. And, the whole country seems to be aware of how good Rotherham United are at taking set pieces. Which is fine. Whatever. That's what we do. Whatever. But we have got some class in this team. We can score these different types of goals. And if you don't think we can, whatever, don't defend for it. We'll still do it anyway.
Yeah. 100%. Like I said yesterday in the post match, we're getting to a stage now where we've got an incredible balance in terms of the type of play that we're capable of. We can be direct, we can play that long ball, we can be aggressive, we can be in your face, we can bully you, but we can also keep possession. We can also play some proper football. And it's getting to a stage, we're way off it at the moment, but it's getting to a stage where it's going to be, if this continues, it will be the perfect storm in terms of a team with ability to play in every condition against every type of football.
Well, it's funny,
anyway.
Funny you mentioned the storm. Looking at the weather next few days, but yeah. Well, we'll go on to that later.
We are going to preview the Cardiff game anyway. That may get postponed again, depending on the weather.
It's going to be until Saturday.
Well, exactly. The chances are it will, but we'll for this show we're going to pretend it's on, and then cross that bridge when that bridge comes. We made a change when the subs came on. Matt Sunday came on and he made his 50th. That's now his 50th league appearance for the club, which is a lot. Over just a season and a half, less than that, because obviously last season didn't finish. But we made 5 changes, Ben, and we didn't. Although we weren't maybe as good as other games, I don't think we looked massively weaker. If that sort of makes sense.
I think we looked stronger, and the reason I think we looked stronger is because it was fresh. I think if the team that started the whatever game we won 3-0 last time, Derby, I think if the team that started that was first game of the season and we played it, I think that'd have been a stronger team. But we've been playing Saturday, Tuesday for what feels like 2015. You know what I mean? Honestly. So I think we were stronger because of I think, what's the word, like energy. I think energy level obviously play a big part in football, and that showed yesterday with Wing coming in fresh legs. Excuse me. Same with a lot of I said 5 changes.
Yeah.
So I think the fresh legs helped that.
Yeah, 100% agree with that, mate. Ben's mentioned Wing, Mick. For me, Wing was man of the match. Even if you take away the goal, he's got that He's got that poise. He's got that composure. He's got the poise and composure of Barlaser, but he's also got that energy and willingness to run of Wiles. I'm not going to say the complete package, because if he was, he wouldn't be playing for us. He'd be playing for Borough. But it looks like he's got a lot to his armoury. Yeah,
he does. He's certainly got a lot of potential, hasn't he? I'm not convinced how popular he was with a lot of Middlesbrough fans. Okay. So I would suggest that perhaps, yes, he has got that. We need to see whether he's going to be able to produce it consistently, don't we? And if he can, then what a player. I mean, what a player anyway. But he's got to do it, hasn't he? He's got to do it every time. And, you know, we go back to that same old argument. So yeah, I was really, really impressed with him yesterday. Really impressed. He does seem to have quite a lot in his armoury, and I think having seen the highlights of him play before, he's probably got a bit more in there that we've not seen yet. So you know, certainly something to look forward to.
Why have they loaned him out? What, can we get him on a permanent?
I don't know. I saw a couple of bits and pieces on social media from Middlesbrough supporters when the news came out that he was going. One in particular, I think I mentioned on the transfer deadline day show that we did, that what one Middlesbrough fan was saying, if there's any truth in the rumour of him going to Rotherham, I'll have day off work tomorrow and drive him down. Thanks very much, mate, because if you're going to play like you played yesterday, take another day off. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Checking it.
Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? We've all had these players that aren't very good for us or don't work out, and then suddenly he goes somewhere else and bangs in. Well, Clark Harris is a really good example.
I think that says more about the club than it does the player, but
this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, you know, if there'd been any rumours in Freddie going to Derby or whatever, I'm sure if Ben could drive it, he'd gone in his car and driven him down there. So,
yeah. If I could drive, yeah, probably get a bus down with you.
The one black mark of the day was Jimmy Lindsay coming off. Now, this is why people need to be rested. This is why we made 5 changes, because this can happen. There's no official confirmation because he hasn't had a scan yet, but it looks like it's his hamstring that's gone. Apparently, the scan on Monday morning or Monday some point. So I imagine for the pre-match press conferences, Warney will have a bit more information. It didn't look too bad though, but it clearly wasn't a tear or anything too serious, because otherwise, if your hamstring goes completely, you ain't walking off the pitch, are you?
Well, they actually like that grade hamstring test. It was grade 1, 2, and 3. I probably grade 1 because he was walking, he wasn't in pain, he wasn't limping really, he was a bit.
Not really, no.
He was running after.
Yeah,
strange. So if he rests it for a few days, it'll be gone. Simple as that, I think. But saying that, like I say, it looked like his hamstring. Could be his knee. I don't know if there's any confirmation it's his hamstring, but it could be something worse.
Yeah,
possibly.
He can still run with a bad knee.
That's true. Yeah, I think Warney mentioned something about it was his hamstring. But again, that's dependent on the scan. Hopefully, it'll just be a couple of weeks and then he'll be back where it's going to be. But obviously, with hamstring, you can't rush people back with that. If it's a strain, he obviously can't play. He couldn't play within a week or two, because then he could then tear it, which then becomes potentially 3 month job, 3 or 4 month job. So you've got to be careful with that. But because we brought something like Wing in, I mean, its guest is to put a comment on YouTube. Wing could cut open a lot of teams with the passing. Yeah, and that's exactly the sort of quality we've brought in and the strength and depth that we've brought in now. So I'm really, really positive. The goal, Mick, the ball cross comes in. Chad Evans jumps up with Johansson. Johansson could have been stronger, but at the same time, for me, I've seen fouls against keepers given for much, much, much less than that.
It's a foul. It's a foul ultimately, by the way that the rules have been interpreted since God were a lad. It's a foul on the goalkeeper, no question. no question whatsoever. And the referee's looking straight at it. And I seem to recall him making he got the ball sign afterwards as well. Well, let's assume, okay, that the bloke who shouldn't have been on the pitch because he should have already had a red card, had got the ball, which was in Johansson's hands, or close to Johansson's hands, could have only got the ball with his hands. I mean, I don't know whether he did. I don't think he did. I don't think he did handball it. I don't think the ball was anywhere near the ball. But as far as I'm concerned, Johansson didn't claim the ball properly because he was impeded. Whether you know, in the scheme of things, whether we think it should be a foul or not is irrelevant, really.
Of course, it
is.
Yeah.
It probably shouldn't be a foul. You know, they make a challenge for the ball, and attack a challenge of the ball, challenge the goalie for the ball. You know, so be it. But I tell you now, 1,000,000% in Ben's words, that if Michael Smith had done made the same challenge on their goalkeeper, that would have been given.
Yeah,
absolutely, no question whatsoever. It's a foul. It should have been given as a foul. It should never have been there in the first place because he shouldn't have been on pitch. And thankfully, it didn't affect the game. But it could well have done. It could well have done. The way they were throwing themselves about afterwards, subsequent to that, was, I mean, that's pathetic in and of itself, isn't it? But, you know, the referee yesterday, it was a joke. It was embarrassing. And he needs to look back at that game again and question whether he's in the right job, to be honest. Because he's made two decisions there that he's got a clear and unobstructed view of them, and he's made the wrong decision twice. So
I agree. Ben?
I'm much a different game.
Oh.
It's never been a foul in a million years, never should be a foul. Johansson's gone to get the ball, it's gone straight through his hands and gone straight to that player. I don't know. I must have been the only person in the world that watched that replay.
I agree with you. I don't think it is a foul. However, what I'm saying is that those are given 999 times out of 1,000.
The ones that are given, when the keeper catches it, they make contact and then the keeper falls. Johansson didn't make contact with the ball, he missed it completely and went down.
Because Evans jumped into him.
No, let's not do this. Let's not do this because he did this. We weren't Evans or Johansson. We don't know the momentum of whatever happened, right? From what it looks like, they haven't really made contact. They made a little bit of contact. It's football. Get over yourself. You should still catch it.
It's a foul on keeper. I talked to a referee a few years ago about this. A qualified referee who's reffed at not a high level, but kind of senior level. And you are not allowed to challenge the keeper while the keeper is challenging for the ball. That was the law as of 2 or 3 years ago, and they're not going to change that law. Well, so therefore, it was a foul.
I don't think it was a foul. But if that's the rule, then what's Johansson doing? Catch the ball. What are you doing, fapping at it? Catch it. It's not hard.
I accept he could have done better, but he was still impeded.
The goalkeeper is going to get impeded sometimes. You know what I mean? It's football.
That's a foul. You're not allowed to impede people.
I don't think you.
You're not allowed to impede a keeper anyway.
I don't think he should have caught it, but
I think he could have done better with it, but I still think it's a foul. It's guessed that it was very similar to something that happened in the Blackburn Borough game a few weeks ago. Well, these things happen in football, don't they? They seem to happen a lot. And then this is the issue with football, that if it's a foul, that's fine. Let's give it as a foul all the time. If it's not a foul, that's also fine. Can we not give it as a foul every single time? Let's try and find a bit of consistency in terms of the decision making. Because at the minute we ain't getting anyway. So
no, definitely not.
Very frustrating. So we move on. Well, that's the game. We were lucky is not the right word, mate. But I suppose we rode as luck.
Yeah, we did. But you know, that's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, 3 months ago, we would have lost that game 3-2. Certainly. If not, we'd have drawn it 2 apiece. They threw the kitchen sink at us towards the back end of the game. And I'll be honest with you, they were nowhere near as effective at throwing the kitchen sink as Forest were earlier in the season. Nowhere near, because all the efforts were tame, really, really tame efforts. Whoever it was threw himself onto the floor at the end there to try and win a penalty. Can't remember who it was. Was it Evans again? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm amazed the referee didn't give it. Absolutely amazed he didn't give it. As soon as he went down, I thought that I'd just waiting for a whistle. So I suppose at least he got one thing right. But we held on, didn't we? We held on. And really, did we really look in any danger of conceding again?
I would say so. They had more chances when it was 1-0 than they did when it was 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. I would say we just about deserved the win, but it was quite close. But anyway, we got the 3 points. That's literally all that matters. Yeah, we move up into a very solid position in the league table now. Yeah,
up to 20th with 2 games in hand to most teams around us as well. To the majority. So the bottom line is, if you can play like that and win games, that's means you're going to have a reasonable season. You know, if you can nick games here and there, if you can play badly and still win, that's a sign of a good team. And we know we've got a good team. We know we've got a good squad. We as supporters of this club are reasonably confident that we've been in the wrong, a false position for most of the season, and we know why as well. You know, in terms of injuries and everything else. So
yeah, I agree. So we move on to a really, really good run now. 3 away wins in a row, which is the best run since 2003-2004 in terms of away games at this level. Obviously, last year in League One we were outstanding, but at this level, this is the best run away from home. We are now 4 wins out of the last 6 games, and in those 6 games we've only had 1 defeat, which was to Swansea, who are in a very good run of form themselves. Yeah. This run of form, Ben, it's superb, isn't
it? Like you said, 13 points out of our last 18. That's got to be one of the top in the league.
I think we're 3rd in form table.
I think that's probably because we've come back from COVID and we've got a team. We haven't got 6 players having to get under 19s playing, which we were for a lot of the start of the season. That's making a little bit of an excuse. We were poor, should have done better, but we had a lot of injuries. But then I think after we've come back from this COVID thing, I think January transfer window helped massively. I think just new faces have helped, clearly. I think we've lost once since we brought these new players in. So I think it's the new faces and hope, you know what I mean, long may it last. I know all that.
Yeah, I agree. This is the best run in the Championship mix since Warnock. Much better than anything we had last time in the Championship. That's all we can compare it to, really, this time 2 years ago. And we looked at such a better team than then.
So what's the league? Where were we this time? Where were we in the league this time?
We were about 4 points worse off, 4 or 5 points worse. I ain't got it to hand me, but we are better off points wise.
Yeah,
and we went down by 4 or 5 points last time. So if from now on the end of the season we get the same amount of points, we'll stay up because that's what we went down last time.
I would argue we've probably got a better squad this time than we had last time as well. Than under Warnock. We had some good players, but to be fair, the players that we had were in the main pretty good League One players, or top class League One players.
Yeah,
we've got some proper Championship players in this squad. In fact, I would argue that the bulk of the squad is a proper Championship players. Either are now or certainly will be by the end of this season, if that makes sense. I think the quality's there, definitely. We said at the beginning of the season, the quality within this squad is as good, potentially as good as it's been for years and years and years. But also the management team as well is as good as it's been for years and years and years. It's more professional than it's ever been for me. So I think things are looking up. This run was always going to come sooner or later this season. I think. Because of the quality that we've got, and like Ben's just said, long may it continue. It's got to do, hasn't it? It's got to continue. We've had all our bad
Just
luck.
stay
We've
up.
used it all up.
Yeah, I completely
So-
agree. Steve Adams says Robertson made the difference. He's been key coming back, Ben, Clark Robertson. He's barely put a foot wrong. He just looks Mr. Reliable. He's got the Richard Wood about him in terms of, I just feel like you can rely on him all the time.
Yeah, I agree. I think he brings a balance. He's another left footer, isn't he? You don't have to play Woody every single game. It gives him a little rest because he's a little bit. I think that left footer can't have 3 right footers in a 3-back. You just can't successfully. Anyway, I mean, you could try. But I think he does. I think he's. I don't know. He's just good. Like there's something about certain centre backs that are just like you're good. Do you know what I mean? Does the basics right. He's calm. He's he don't panic. He can pick a pass out sometimes. His positions are right. He's good in air. Just a good centre back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hopefully keep his knee out of injury.
His foot.
With his foot.
His foot. Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. I love. I think we're all. I imagine all Rotherham fans are Clark Robertson fans. If he can stay fit between now and the season, not only do we stay up, he's out of contract in summer. If we stay up, he's going to stay. Hopefully for a few more years. So, I really hope that. Anything else you want to touch on the Preston game before we move on and go look ahead to what should happen on Tuesday?
No, can I just say the referee were crap again? I'll just add that in there. It doesn't make me feel any better if I'm honest, but
Yeah, fair enough.
Worth a try.
Yeah, that's true. So we play Cardiff City at home on Tuesday. We are meant to play Cardiff City at home on Tuesday. Actually, with the Storm, I can't remember what it's called now. The Storm
Darcy. Storm Darcy.
Where did he name it? Like, who names it?
I don't know, mate. There's like a system in there.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, mate.
Why do you
It is
call it
bizarre.
Storm? Has someone actually got that job of what name to call this weather?
Apparently so.
Listen, if you didn't name a storm, how would Daily Express journalists get all sticky and happy about? It makes journalists happy, doesn't it?
That's true.
They can anyway. But either way,
yeah. So there's a reasonable chance the game might not go on Tuesday. With it being Cardiff, I don't think we'll leave it as late as last time, and I don't think they'll get as upset as Derby fans. But who knows?
Well, I understand on a slightly different note that some Derby fans have started a petition against South Yorkshire Football Club.
Yeah.
South Yorkshire.
Yeah, they want to. The petition is something like to get better drainage for small clubs in South Yorkshire.
It's really upset them, hasn't it? It's really upset them.
I don't get it. Why? It's a football game. It's hardly.
It's a game that we're going to replay it another time. They haven't lost 3 points because of the water. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's absolute comedy gold, and I hope all their games get postponed. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, it would be so funny.
This is meant to be our game in hand. So if we win this, especially if we win this because it's game in hand, it'll take us 5 points to clear the relegation zone, or should, depending on Sheffield Wednesday's results. And we will hopefully get some positives from it. We do not have a particularly good record against Cardiff at home, or in general, actually. We have 1 win in the last 10 games against Cardiff, and that came in 2015 when Vadis, a foe, if you remember, or from Norwich, a foe. He scored a penalty, and then we got a 90-something minute winner from a Matthew Connolly own goal from a Manuel Desna cross. That was Steve Evans' last home game in charge. That game, that was the last time we won. But yeah, it's not.
I'm just saying, do you think we win? We've got 8 points off playoffs. 8 points. We've got 8 points off 7.
No, there's 6 this playoffs.
Yeah, 13 points. But we got 8 points off 7.
Well, that would be ridiculous.
I swear that if we win, then we've got another game in hand. It could be 4.
Couldn't get out of ourselves here, aren't we?
Playoffs, man.
Keep your hair on, Ben. Keep your hair on. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to me up here. I started getting all kidding. I just lost it all. Yeah.
They have a new manager, Cardiff. So in terms of their more recent form, which is the important stuff, they are 3 games unbeaten under their new manager, Mick McCarthy. 2 draws. They only have 1 win, but then they beat Bristol City at the weekend, which I think is a derby. But it's Cardiff, Bristol City. Is it a 7 Bridge derby or something like that?
Yeah, they've got to have a derby, haven't they, I suppose. I thought their derby were with Swansea, because Swansea's down the road, and Bristol's nowhere near. But anyway, whatever.
But it's Big Mick's first win in charge, and we know what Mick McCarthy teams are like. They're not very easy to play against. But through his time at Ipswich, certainly at home, we had a good record against the Ipswich team whilst he was in charge. So hopefully we can continue that run. It's Guest, just go back up the comments. It's Guest, any ideas on the free agent situation? I have not heard anything. Have you 2 heard anything about that?
No.
Cool.
No, I've not heard anything at all. All I would have heard and would have seen would have been on social media anyway. There's obviously some consideration somewhere along the line. Who that is, I don't know. I've not heard anything at all that I'd like to hang my hat on at all. So, do we need somebody else? We've got a space, haven't we, if we need it? If they're the right fit, they're the right fit. If they're not, they're not.
It's all dependent for me on Jimmy Lindsay. If Jimmy Lindsay if it is semi-serious and he is out for a month or 2, then we really could do with that extra body in midfield. If it's going to be cheap as well, if it's not going to cost us too much money, then why not? I suppose. We don't. I wouldn't say we desperately need them, but let's wait and see. I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Couple of stats for the game. Richard Wood, if he plays, which we assume he will go on to make his 150th league appearance for Rotherham United. He's been here feels like about 1,000 years. So if you make 150, don't feel like many, but it's still a good number. Icky will make his 100th start, but more importantly, it will be his 250th league career appearance, which is fantastic. So really, really good for Icky and again for Woody. Woody's closing in on 500 league appearances for his career. What do you think, Ben? It's going to be a tough game, and I kind of picked up a little bit. Where do you think we're going to start? Are we going to go back to where we were against Derby? Is he going to mix and match? What do you think?
I don't know. Flip a coin. I don't really know. I think it's where we perform totally well in training. What everyone's fitness is like. It depends on a lot of things. But if everyone's fit, I don't see why I should change it. Apart from bringing obviously Wiles in for Lindsay and Crook for Hurst and Smith for Freddie. So the basic of the team, but like Giles starting. Oh no. Matt
Sunday on bench, Ben.
Harden on the left, Sunday on the right, so they get that defensive. And then, so I go Robertson, Wood, Icky, Harden, Sunday, Wayne, Barlas, Wiles, Cook, Smith.
So you go as it was against Derby, except wing in for Lindsay from that change. I personally would. I think that's why he made those changes on Saturday, Mick. So the next game going forward, we could go back to what is basically our strongest 11. Yeah,
I mean, first things first. We can do some squad rotation.
I know. Crazy,
who would have thought that were going to ever happen? I think that's probably fair. It depends on any knocks from the other day, but he's I can't say anything else on that really. I think that will be the team, subject to any injuries, definitely.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I can't. Why would we change it? I can't. Couldn't agree more. Where am I with my notes? Yes, that's all I've got.
It's a winnable game. No, I haven't. No,
I've got that for you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's a winnable game, isn't it? The bottom line is it's a winnable game. They're not on the best of form. We are. So hopefully we take the game to them. If we can come out of Tuesday night with 3 points, assuming that it goes ahead, that is just going to be immense. It's going to be absolutely immense for confidence. to put a marker down for everybody else around us, and also for QPR next Saturday. Bring it on.
Well, as Philip says, fantastic February is on.
Yeah,
it's absolutely on.
I remember that Emily Hughes season. That when we started third bottom at the beginning of February and ended up third top, winning every single game. I do remember the season. So that's not going to happen. So put that out of your mind. That is not going to happen this season, this year.
We can dream.
Yeah, but we've already got 6 more points than probably we anticipated. Certainly 3 more points than we anticipated out of February. We're only 2 games in. So, if we can come out of February with 12 points, happy days. Any more than that is an absolute bonus. And that's doable. It's easily doable. So, we'll see.
We're only 21 points off for the magic 50. It doesn't normally take 50 points, as we saw a couple of years ago, going down 46. But if you get to 50, you're almost certainly not going to go down that figure. So that's a good point to aim for. The referee for Tuesday is Jeff Eltringham.
Oh, God, we've had him already, haven't we? We
have had him this season at home to Bournemouth.
Yes.
Where he gave the penalty, very soft penalty against Glenn. Soft, but probably was. He will be more well known to Rotherham fans because he was the man that sent off Will Vaulks against Sheffield United at Bramall Lane last time in the Championship. Which, as it turns out, it was a bad decision at the time. We behind the goal. I thought it probably was, but watching the replay, the referee made a very, very poor decision.
Yeah, definitely.
So
the linesman gave that sending off. I remember that. The linesman gave that sending off, not the referee. The linesman almost wet himself trying to get his flag up. Well, he did, didn't he? Anyway, that's I'll we've had him this season. I don't think he was brilliant, if I remember rightly. I'm sure we'd had him for something else as well, Eltringham. But anyway, we'll see. But we're always going to have to play the referees, aren't we? They show that season after season after season that they're never going to do us any favours. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. With the finish on one of the comments from where we're live YouTube, it's guessed. Warren said he thinks he only needs 6 more wins to stay up. Do you think it'd be more than less? I think more. So 6 wins, and so say we've got 6 more wins and 0 draws. That would take us to 47 points. We've got what's that? We've got 26 games. So we've got 20 games left to win 6 out of 20. Is where we're aiming for all that. I think 6 is doable, Ben. But then if you add in 3 or 4 draws in there, that takes you above the 50 to 51-ish. 6 plus some draws will do it for me, I think.
I will plus. No, I'm joking. I think 6 is. I think we'll get 6. I think we're playing a little bit more just to be safe because it's football. 40 points could be enough to stay up, but you might need 60. Championship, it's like that, isn't it? So I don't know. I think we've just got to take it a game at a time because at the minute we'll get 6 wins in 6 games. You know what I mean? Keep playing. Obviously, we play well yesterday. Well, we didn't play badly, but
no.
If we didn't
play badly, but we've got another level, haven't we?
Yeah, If we play the way we did against Middlesbrough and Derby, then we'll get 6 wins in 6 games easy.
Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's maintaining that level in it, and I think we've got more than another gear. We've probably got another couple of gears to go up from the way we played yesterday. So it's going to be interesting. Tuesday night is going to be probably a more interesting game than yesterday, than Saturday, just because I don't think any of us genuinely thought that Saturday was going to be a winnable game. Really, it wasn't on that list of earmarked for 3 points, if you like. Whereas I think Tuesday, because of Cardiff's recent form, you have to say that it's one of those games where you think, this is one of the ones that we should be winning. We need to be winning. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know whether did that make any sense. Did that have any context at all to what we've just been talking about?
Yes, it did.
Did it? Oh, that's all right then.
I think it did, yeah. I think we say about, especially when the teams came out at 2:00. I think everybody was worried. because because we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And I think we maybe got exactly I know we did say we didn't know what to expect. We probably got what we expected, a slightly under par performance, but still not a bad performance, if that sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas on Tuesday, I think we go into it, and assuming we don't get struck down by 5 injuries, I think we know what to expect.
Yeah.
Cardiff have a better idea what to expect. It's something interesting. We'll look forward to it. I am looking forward to it, but the chances are there will not be a game. But we can hope. Philly Flop again. Our big lads will have a game on their hands against Keith Moore. Yes, Keith Moore will almost certainly play, and so will probably Will Vaulks. They've both been playing. So we're good to have Will Vaulks back. Shame we're not in the ground. Another reason why we're not in the ground, to give the Vaulks the reception he would deserve. Well, there's always next time. I'm sure there will be a next time. I'm sure we'll get a fantastic reception next time, whenever that may be. So thank you all for listening and getting involved. We will be back on Tuesday night. Whether the game's off or not, if it's on, we'll come for a post-match. If it's off, we'll do a live 15 minutes talking about the impact of it and whatnot. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Anything else?
Nah.
Is the game on Wednesday?
Tuesday, it's meant to be.
And don't forget, it's a 7 o'clock kickoff, not a 7:45. People.
Yes. Again.
Don't do what I did and stay at work.
7 o'clock this Bournemouth is a 8:15.
Say again.
So we've got a 7 o'clock kickoff this week. Bournemouth next week is a 8:15 kickoff.
Why?
Is that the one on
Because of Sky. Because of Sky.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry, I forget about that. Plucky little Rotherham. It's Plucky little Rotherham week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So we're still talking about doing a watch along for that one if anybody's interested in that. We're just on probably just YouTube alone to save you having to put up with Sky Sports as well. It depends on the commentary. Some of them aren't terrible, but Lee Hendry's not very good. So yeah, it's guest. This is cheers for Up the Millers, flip flop Up the Millers. Up the Millers. We will thank you all for getting involved, as we've already said 1,000 times, but we do really appreciate it. Mick, did you give us a final update for your run? I can't remember if you gave us a final update.
Yeah, we finished it. The final total we raised £310. I think it was. I've not checked actually to see whether there were any more contributions, but yeah, £310. We did just shy of 27 miles as it happened. So yeah, fantastic. You what, mate?
So we basically ran a marathon. Yeah,
essentially, yeah. Ran most of a marathon and walked the rest of it. So for a great cause. We'll probably look to do something else in the future as well. But a massive thanks to all the podcast listeners and viewers as well who got involved. We've not name checked anybody for obvious reasons. Really, I don't want to draw attention to people, but you know who you are if you've contributed. We really appreciate it. Thank you. And I'm a little less of a fat lad than I were at the beginning of January, but I'm working on that. I'm hoping to be back up to my fighting weight soon.
Absolutely. So thank you all. We will see you all Tuesday, no matter what happens. The preview show will be out Friday for the preview show for Saturday's game against QPR. Again, assuming that's on. I think that's all we've got. So yeah, cheers, Mick.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Cheers, Benjamin.
You're welcome.
We'll see you all very soon.
Benjamin.
Pringle looking towards Odegaard. Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant!